Recording coming on. Welcome to part 2 of
The Great American Smokeout.
On Senior Moment with Nurse Linda. And smoking is not good for you.
It is not good for you, and it is not good for you on multiple levels. And we're going to talk about some of the effects of smoking and what that does to you when you smoke. We talked about 43.8 million Americans still smoke cigarettes. People who smoke are paying. If you have a 1 pack per day habit, you're paying about $2,000 out of pocket a year for cigarettes. That's huge. It's just, folks, I have better things to do with my $2,000, so I don't understand all of that.
If I had, what is it, $4 a pack, $5 for $5, I'd sit nice and watch it.
Let's face it, the benefits of quitting is what we're going to talk about in this segment and how it will help you to quit. And then in the third segment, we're going to talk about ways to quit. So we're going to talk first and convince you that it's a good idea to do it. Number one, just the financial impact on your wallet. Many people, 1 pack per day, many people have 2 or 3 packs per day. You can imagine how much money they're spending on that. It's more money in your pocket. We're not talking chump change. We're talking significant amount of money in your pocket all the time. You're going to be at work more often, which for some people that may be a bad thing, but you're not going to be as sick. You're going to get fewer colds because you're not going to suffer from the chronic bronchitis problem and the lung problems, the immune problems. It affects your immune system. And you will be able to fight these things off. You will have more productive days, so you will have more money in your pocket because you're at work more often. Now, some people say, well, I got 6 days anyway. But those interfere then with your other days off. Why are you going to do that? Do something you want to on your day off rather than have to be home sick.
Well, people who smoke, do they have an addictive personality?
People who have trouble quitting have an addictive personality. Not everyone who smokes is addicted to cigarettes. They do it because they enjoy it.
Okay, being a non-smoker, I cannot see how somebody can enjoy sucking hot, acrid smoke into your lungs.
I don't either. I've never even tried a cigarette, so I can't even begin to imagine. I've been at many house fires, and I know that's not quite the same, but even sucking that smoke just does me in for days. I can't imagine doing it to myself. Yeah. But yeah, people enjoy smoking. They just do it because they like it, and if they could decide to put the cigarettes down tomorrow, they could do it and never need them again. Then you have people who become addicted to it, and they become addicted to having something in their mouth. It's a nervous habit, but it's the nicotine in the cigarettes that really have the effect on people, and that's the drug that gets them and holds them to it. When people say after a stressful event, I need a cigarette, they need the nicotine. They don't need the cigarette. So there's things to help them through that process of bringing them off of the nicotine. Secondhand smoke contains many chemicals that can irritate and damage the lining of the lung, and that's secondhand smoke. Firsthand smoke does the same thing. You have in your lungs these wonderful little air sacs that keep everything functioning properly. They have little lining in them called cilia, little hair-like fibers. What happens is the smoke, the nicotine, the tars get on those things and they gum them all up. Now they can't keep air moving and keep particles out the right way, so everything starts to stick and gets gummed up, which is why you get sick more often, which is why you can't clear your lungs now, because the fluid can't get out, particles are sticking. It's sort of like if you had tape wrapped around your hand inside out, and you go to grab something, and now the paper sticks, and you rip that off, and you go to pick something else, and that sticks, and before you know it, you have all this stuff on your hand. That's what happens inside your lungs. It causes a lot of problems, and that's what's causing the issue. You're going to have fewer visits to the doctor. That's money in your pocket. You're not going to have to see the doctor to get antibiotics to clear up the lung infection that you have. because of the cigarettes.
Okay.
And most people have co-pays on their insurance these days, so that's going to be a saving. For employers, employers are encouraged to facilitate a non-smoking environment at work. And that means smoking nowhere on the property. And that's a huge deterrent for people who have to walk off property to go smoke a cigarette. If they've got a 10-minute break, takes them 5 minutes to walk out there, and if they get 2 or 3 puffs, they have to do a 5-minute walk back to get into the building again. That's their 10-minute break.
Well, they're getting good exercise walking out in the sun, fresh air.
Well, but if you're doing it in the cold and the rain and the sleet if you're up north, again, now you're not feeling well, or you're prone to becoming sick. Now you're out in weather you shouldn't be smoking cigarette. We've got this big circle. But employers can do more to encourage and mandate a smoke-free environment. And they can do that any way they want. They can run little contests for their employees. They can offer incentives to people who quit or people who never smoked to begin with. You need to reward both sets of people. Fewer lost days at work, so they're saving having someone else to have to come in and do that person's job. They could be saving over $3,000 a year of lost time due to smoking. That's an average per employer.
And $2,000 in cigarette money, that's $5 grand.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. It's the overall general effects on the body are just incredible. And cigarettes are liked by fewer and fewer people. Those of us who are non-smokers are speaking up. We've gone from the silent minority to the silent majority.
Well, I've always been
non-silent.
Silent, yes.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say is we're not so silent anymore. We're speaking up and telling business owners and employers we don't like walking through that door when you have all your smokers outside doing that. And that's where hospitals now have gone to employees have to leave the premises in order to smoke. It's a huge difference. Resources for quitting. Cancer.org, CANCER.org. The phone number, 1-800-227-2345, 1-800-227-2345. There's also another website, all lowercase letters, quitnow.net.
Quitnow.net.
Yes, and I played around on that yesterday a little bit, and they've got some excellent suggestions and schedules for quitting. And our third segment is going to be all about quitting and how to do that. Some suggestions on how to quit.
If you have a question, call Nurse Linda at 803-941-7231. That number again, 803-941-7231. Like the folks from North Carolina called up, and the chap from Texas, and the one from north of Seattle, but I can't remember the town. They have questions, and evidently nobody in their area can answer them. So here you go.
But we will, yeah.
And the website is brookhc.com. We will be back with segment 3 of
The Great American Smokeout and How to Quit.
You Betcha.